Thank you very much. Thank you.
Cảm ơn các bạn. Cảm ơn các bạn rất nhiều.
I stand before you today to fulfill one of my highest and most important duties under the United States Constitution, the nomination of a Supreme Court Justice.
Tôi hân hạnh và giới thiệu các bạn ngày hôm nay là dưới sự làm việc dưới sự hiến pháp, tôi sẽ ứng cử ra vị trí của thẩm phán của tòa án liên bang, tòa án tối cao.
And it is a very proud moment indeed. Over the past week, our nation has mourned the loss of a true American legend.
Tuần vừa chúng ta là người dân Mỹ đã chịu sự mất mát của sự qua đời của bà thẩm phán Gilbert.
Now we gather in the Rose Garden to continue our never-ending task of ensuring equal justice and preserving the impartial rule of law. Today it is my honor to nominate one of our nation's most brilliant.
Hôm nay là ngày vinh dự của tôi để là tuyên bố vị trí ứng cử của bà thẩm phán mới.
Of unparalleled achievement, towering intellect, sterling credentials, and unyielding loyalty to the Constitution, Judge Amy Coney Barrett.
Bà thẩm phán Judge Amy Coney.
We're also joined by Amy's husband, Jesse. Thank you, Jesse, very much. And their 7 beautiful children. Congratulations to you all. Very special day.
Cảm ơn chồng của bà thẩm phán và 7 đứa con. 7 đứa con của bà thẩm phán. Bà thẩm phán thì có 7 đứa con nha các bạn.
Along with Vice President Mike Pence and his amazing wife Karen. Thank you very much.
Cảm ơn vợ chồng của Phó Tổng thống Mike Pence vào buổi hiện diện hôm nay.
Graduate of Rhodes College and the University of Notre Dame Law School. At Notre Dame, she earned a full academic scholarship, served as the executive editor of the Law Review, graduated first in her class, and received the law school's award for the best record of scholarship and achievement. Upon graduation, she became a clerk for Judge Lawrence Silberman on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia. Amy then received one of the highest honors a young lawyer could have, serving as a clerk on the Supreme Court for Justice Antonin Scalia.
Chào Hailey.
A very highly respected law professor at Notre Dame wrote to Justice Scalia with a one-sentence recommendation. Amy Coney is the best student I ever had. That's pretty good.
Bà Amy là một trong những cái vị trí mà tốt nhất mà tôi muốn bổ nhiệm cho vị trí thẩm phán.
His wonderful wife Maureen, where is Maureen? Maureen Scalia, with us today. Thank you. And our great Secretary of Labor. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Very good genes in that family, I will say. Very good genes. Before joining the bench, Judge Barrett spent 15 years as a professor at the University of Notre Dame Law School. She was renowned for her scholarship, celebrated by her colleagues and beloved by her students. 3 times she was selected at Notre Dame Distinguished Professor of the Year. When I nominated Judge Chuyên, writing, quote, "We are Democrats, Republicans, and Independents, yet we write to support the nomination of Professor Barrett to be a circuit judge. Professor Barrett is a woman of remarkable intellect and character. She is eminently qualified for the job. And I can tell you, I did that too. I looked and I studied, and you are very eminently qualified for this job. You are going to be fantastic.
Tôi đã nhìn vào cái profile của bà thẩm phán và tôi biết rằng cái vị trí của bà rất là thích hợp đối với vị trí của thẩm phán của tòa án tối cao.
And faculty, everybody at that school also, we got so many letters, also wrote letters of support of Amy's nomination to the
Rất là nhiều lá thư từ những cái trường về luật đã gửi thư ủng hộ bà Amy vào cái vị trí này.
Constitutional system depends upon an independent judiciary staffed by talented people, devoted to the fair and impartial administration of the rule of law, and we unanimously agree that Amy is such a person. For the last 3 years, Judge Barrett has served with immense distinction on the federal bench. Amy is more than a stellar scholar and judge. She's also a profoundly devoted mother. Her family is a core part of who Amy is. She opened her home and her heart and adopted 2 beautiful children from Haiti. Her incredible bond with her youngest child, a son with Down syndrome, is a true inspiration. If confirmed, Justice Barrett will make history as the first mother of school-age children ever to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court. That's good. To her children, Emma, Vivian, Tess, John Peter, Liam, Juliet, and Benjamin, thank you for sharing your incredible mom with our country. Thank you very much.
Cảm ơn các cháu đã 7 người con của bà Amy đã chia sẻ mẹ của các cháu đối với công việc của tòa án.
Text of the Constitution as written. As Amy has said, being a judge takes courage. You are not there to decide cases as you may prefer. You are there to do your duty and to follow the law wherever it may take you. That is exactly what Judge Barrett will do on the U.S. Supreme Court. I want to thank the members of the Senate. We have so many of them here today. Thank you very much. I see you in the audience and you're so proud. But I want to thank you for your commitment and to providing a fair and timely hearing. I know it will be that. Judge Barrett was confirmed to the Circuit Court 3 years ago by a bipartisan vote. Her qualifications are unsurpassed, and her record is beyond reproach. This should be a straightforward and prompt confirmation. Should be very easy. Good luck. It's going to be very quick. I'm sure it'll be extremely non-controversial. We said that the last time, didn't we? Well, thank you all very much, and thank you for being here. That's really good. Thank you. Thank you. I further urge all members of the other side of the aisle to provide Judge Barrett with the respectful and dignified hearing that she deserves, and frankly, that our country deserves. I urge lawmakers and members of the media to refrain from personal or partisan attacks, and the stakes for our country are incredibly high. Rulings that the Supreme Court will issue in the coming years will decide the survival of our Second Amendment, our religious liberty, our public safety, and so much more. To maintain security, liberty, and prosperity, we must preserve our priceless heritage of a nation of laws, and there is no one better to do that than Amy Coney Barrett.
Không ai tốt hơn là bà Amy Coney Barrett là đứng vào vị trí này, vị trí của ứng cử vào trong vị trí của thẩm phán của tòa án tối cao.
A fair reading of the law. She will defend the sacred principle of equal justice for citizens of every race, color, religion, and creed. Congratulations again to Judge Barrett. I know that you will make our country very, very proud.
Tôi biết bà sẽ làm cho nước Mỹ tự hào về bà. Chúc mừng bà.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Cảm ơn ngài Tổng
I am
thống.
deeply honored by the confidence that you have placed in me. And I am so grateful to you and the First Lady, to the Vice President and the Second Lady, and to so many others here for your kindness on this rather overwhelming occasion. I fully understand that this is a momentous decision for a president. And if the Senate does me the honor of confirming me, I pledge to discharge the
Tôi cảm thấy vinh dự
responsibilities
đối
of
với
this
ứng
job
cử
to the
của
very
Tổng
best
thống,
of
mà
my
nếu
ability.
Thượng viện thông qua, tôi rất là tự hào để phục vụ cho đất nước dưới hiến pháp.
I'm truly humbled by the prospect of serving on the Supreme Court. Should I be confirmed, I will be mindful of who came before me. The flag of the United States is still flying at half-staff in memory of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg to mark the end of a great American life. Justice Ginsburg began her career at a time when women were not welcome in the legal profession. But she not only broke glass ceilings, she smashed them. For that, she has won the admiration of women across the country and indeed all over the world. She was a woman of enormous talent and consequence, and her life of public service serves as an example to us all. Particularly poignant to me was her long and deep friendship with Justice Antonin Scalia, my own mentor. Justices Scalia and Ginsburg disagreed fiercely in print without rancor in person. Their ability to maintain a warm and rich friendship, despite their differences, even inspired an opera. These two great Americans demonstrated that arguments, even about matters of great consequence, need not destroy affection. In both my personal and professional relationships, I strive to meet that standard. I was lucky enough to clerk for Justice Scalia, and given his incalculable influence on my life, I am very moved to have members of the Scalia family here today, including his dear wife, Maureen. I clerked for Justice Scalia more than 20 years ago, but the lessons I learned still resonate. His judicial philosophy is mine too. A judge must apply the law as written. Judges are not policymakers, and they must be resolute in setting aside any policy views they might hold. The President has asked me to become the 9th Justice, and as it happens, I'm used to being in a group of 9, my family.
Nếu điều đó xảy ra, tôi rất là vinh dự được vào trong nhóm 9 người thẩm phán.
Vivian, Tess, John Peter, Liam, Juliet, and Benjamin. Vivian and John Peter, as the President said, were born in Haiti, and they came to us 5 years apart when they were very young. And the most revealing fact about Benjamin, our youngest, is that his brothers and sisters unreservedly identify him as their favorite sibling. Our children obviously make our life very full. While I am a judge, I'm better known back home as a room parent, carpool driver, and birthday party planner. When schools went remote last spring, I tried on another hat. Jesse and I became co-principals of the Barrett e-Learning Academy. And yes, the list of enrolled students was a very long one. Our children are my greatest joy, even though they deprive me of any reasonable amount of sleep. I couldn't manage this very full life without the unwavering support of my husband, Jesse.
Tôi
At the start
không
of our
cảm ơn cái
marriage,
sự
I
hỗ
imagined
trợ
that we
của
would
chồng tôi
run
là
our household
Chesley.
as partners. As it has turned out, Jesse does far more than his share of the work.
Chồng tôi đã chia sẻ những công việc trong nhà để hỗ trợ tôi trong công việc.
For 21 years, Jesse has asked me every single morning what he can do for me that day.
Mỗi buổi sáng Jenny luôn hỏi tôi là em cần tôi anh cần tôi giúp được gì không?
He has a busy law practice. It's because he is a superb and generous husband, and I am very fortunate.
Tôi rất là may mắn là vợ của chồng tôi, Jesse.
Jesse and I have a life full of relationships, not only with our children, but with siblings, friends, and fearless babysitters.
Với gia đình mà đối với bạn bè.
I am particularly grateful to my parents, Mike and Linda Coney. I have spent the bulk of my adulthood as a Midwesterner, but I grew up in their New Orleans home. And as my brother and sisters can also attest, Mom and Dad's generosity extends not only to us, but to more people than any of us could count. They are an inspiration. It is important at a moment like this to acknowledge family and friends. But this evening, I also want to acknowledge you, my fellow Americans. The President has nominated me to serve on the United
Ngài Tổng
States
thống mà đã ứng cử tôi vào vị trí thẩm phán dưới hiến pháp.
I would not assume that role for the sake of those in my own circle, and certainly not for my own sake. I would assume this role to serve you.
Tôi sẽ nếu mà sự vị trí này được ra, tôi sẽ rất là vinh hạnh phục vụ cho các bạn.
Do equal right to the poor and rich, and faithfully and impartially discharge my duties under the United States Constitution. I have no illusions that the road ahead of me will be easy, either for the short term or the long haul. I never imagined that I would find myself in this position. But now that I am, I assure you that I will meet the challenge with both humility and courage. Members of the United States Senate, I look forward to working with you during the confirmation process, and I will do my very best to demonstrate that I am worthy of your support. Thank you.
Cảm ơn các bạn.
Come on up, family. Come on up.
Lên đây, mời gia đình của bà lên đây.
Thank you very much for being here. Chief of Staff, thank you very much. Chief, doing a great job. And all of the senators, please, we really appreciate it. And I know you're going to have a busy couple of weeks, but I think it's going to be easier than you might think. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Congratulations, Amy.
Chúc mừng Amy.
Full of relationships, not only
Ok, để nói qua cái bà Amy Coney Barrett này, bà này là được Tổng thống Trump ứng cử vào hôm nay vào cái vị trí thẩm phán mới của tòa án tối cao, và vị trí chú sẽ nói về bà giới thiệu sơ lược bà này là ai. Bà Amy, bà này là một người công giáo sùng đạo. Điều này khiến cho bà trở thành những người yêu thích trong những người theo cái tôn giáo bảo thủ, mang cái quyết định mà được hợp thức hóa, bước ngoặt đến hợp hóa phá thai. Bà cũng là người bỏ phiếu ủng hộ những chính sách nhập cư cứng rắn của Tổng thống Donald Trump và bày tỏ quan điểm ủng hộ các quyền mở rộng về súng. Bà được ông Trump đề cử vào tòa phúc thẩm số 7 có trụ sở tại Chicago và được Thượng viện phê chuẩn trong một cuộc bỏ phiếu 55 và 43 vào tháng 10 năm 2017 sau một quá trình khó khăn. Bà là một trong những cái tên được Tổng thống cân nhắc để thay thế cho thẩm phán Anthony Kennedy vào năm 2017. Bà sinh ra ở New Orleans và kết hôn với cựu công tố viên liên bang của South Bend, Indiana, và họ có với nhau 7 người con. Nếu thật sự bà Amy được Thượng viện thông qua và bổ nhiệm vào chức thẩm phán thì Tổng thống Trump sẽ có đủ cái người để hỗ trợ trong cái hệ thống tư pháp. Cảm ơn các bạn đã theo dõi.